I'm Christy Quinones.
And I'm Stephen Quinones, and we're the parents of Preston Quinones. He's a sixth form, and we had a older sibling for Preston graduated back in 2019. Preston's our second boy here at South Kent. We chose South Kent for our oldest boy to begin with. We was contacted by the soccer coach. We came and did a tour, and he absolutely fell in love with the campus. He thought it was fantastic. He loved that it was small. And then he wanted to come. So we sent him, and it was a wonderful experience for him. So much so that obviously his younger brother was itching to get here. And because of the experience that Alex had, we were more than comfortable having Preston come.
We like that it's all boys. There's really no drama at all, and they can just kind of be themselves. No competition, and just kind of develop them as they grow into men. I love the fact that it's a smaller school and that the student ratio is a great size, and it just allows more kind of one-on-one with the adult and the child, and helping them develop in all areas, not just soccer or for other sports, in the dorms, and then all the community stuff that happens around it. So
yeah, and for me, it was a lot of the close knit with the faculty and everybody, the families that are here on campus. It makes a huge deal and difference when they can interact with the boys and get to know them, and really understand them as young people. And that helps to develop them, and they feel like somebody cares, and not just there to hammer them about grades and being late for class. It is about guiding them through and helping them become better men.
Yeah, and we can often say something to the boys, but when another adult or another teacher that cares about them just as much says something, it actually has a little bit more weight sometimes. So it's worked out really nice for both of them. Absolutely.
Yeah. The very first thing that we noticed was the dinner table.
Yeah.
That used to be before South Kent. Everybody would just run, sit down at the dinner table, quickly eat, get up and leave. And then we noticed, especially with Preston, the first time he came home, he sat down, waited for everybody else to sit down and eat. And then when he was done, he just sat there and waited for everybody else to be finished. And then when everybody was finished, he cleared the table without being asked. And those are just those little things that you see that happen here, that transition back home. And it's just wonderful.
Although laundry would be nice.
Yeah. The self-reliance that we've found from our boys is, before South Kent, it was, we had to try to push them a little bit more to get things done, whether it was schoolwork or anything else. But here they're taught that, you got to do it on your own. This is stuff you have to do. And so even with Preston, last year as his first year, he had to learn it, a little bit of a struggle. Now, in his second year here at South Kent, it's easier. He's getting the things done. It's big part of his lifestyle now is, things have to happen, things have to get done. So I just get them done. And because of that, we've seen the growth in him as a young person.
Yeah.
I think for the South Kent Parent Association, I think it was less of for Preston and our son, and more for us to be able to give back to a wonderful place and what they've done for our boys. And they've been instrumental in their development. So we felt that we should give back somehow, so we do donate, financially. But then there's always more you can do. They do a lot for our boys. So we figured we should do a lot for the school. So I joined onto the Parent Association. I'm now the co-chair for the Parent Association. And I'm just looking forward to, grabbing more parents and bringing them involved, and hopefully we can make it bigger and better. Just do more things for the boys, whether it's, gift baskets when they're studying for tests, or maybe bringing in more guest speakers for the boys, whatever we can do to enhance their experience. But at the same time, it's more for, I think, us as parents to give back.
And it involves us to know what our kids are doing and kind of let them see the joy while we're having the same joy of experiencing it with them. Just small stuff. And I think for example, next weekend, we're going to bring some pumpkins in for one of the dorms, and then they can go ahead and, as a group, go ahead and and do some jack-o'-lanterns and, so I think it'll be really fun for them. So that's like a little example. It doesn't have to be big.
I'm a member of the South Kent Parents Association because, again, giving back. I think it's really important. In this day and age, when sometimes as parents, we're guilty of it too. We expect certain things to be given to our kids without giving back. The school provides quite a bit. They take very great care of our kids. We don't have to worry about our boys at all, and their safety or anything. So with that, it's important as parents that we say thank you, and the best way to say thank you is to be involved, and to help wherever we can, whether it's, going to athletic events and bringing snacks for the kids after the games, or just showing up, and rooting on the sidelines, anything that we can do to give back. And so the importance of being a part of that parent association is huge.
Yeah, communication, I think it's big. A lot of families are not from here. They're far away, and I think it's really hard for them. So the more we can involve them in little ways, I think it would be beneficial, whether it be through having different conversations with the boys or like different options for them to have treats.
For the future of South Kent School, we hope that it continues to grow. We know we can only max out so much as far as the number of boys that are here, but it's to enhance everything.
Technology
so like increasing the funds, the South Kent Fund would be massive, so that way they can maybe do more upgrades if needed, or there's more money to help support the kids. There's more money for financial aid for boys that are deserving to be here but can't afford it. Just to continue to be on the map as a quality all boys prep school.
It's good.
Yeah, he's very happy about the laundry.
First and foremost, it's close to home. We live in Lakeville, so it's only about a 35-minute drive. But there are so many reasons why this is a good school for him and why it fit. The small community, the close-knit community, the basketball program, just the academics aligned, the options of what he was looking for in a high school.
Basically everything she said, I'm gonna second that, but also to add to it, the quality of young men that they produce outside of just sports and academics, but the person that you become when you leave this school. From what I've seen, that was something big for me, wanting him to be a prominent person and be confident in himself. And I feel like this environment fosters that big time.
More self-reliant.
So one thing we've always preached to him was self-reliance and being able to rely on himself. But as a 14-year-old boy, you got to reteach that multiple times. But one thing I will say, since being here, he has become more independent on himself, to whether it's make his own food or it's do his laundry or, whatever it is, he's been more apt to handle it. Confidence. He's very confident in himself, and whether it's from the weight training in basketball or his schoolwork or whatever it is, I find him very much a little funnier, more outgoing. He wasn't funny before. But now his jokes, when he had a little experience, his jokes are a little funnier now. But he's just the confidence in himself, whether he's trying to show his muscles off a little bit or he's, he's confident now. He's a lot more confident.
And just his ability to be himself in all aspects of his life, and to be confident in that, regardless of like who he's around or who he's with, has grown tremendously. Just the brotherhood, the fact that he is surrounded by people from all walks of life, but that also share in things that are important to him. We live in a small town, and he's had the same, 40 kids his whole entire school career. And it's so nice for him to have the opportunity to be surrounded by people of like mind, that will help push him and help him grow to achieve the things that we know he's capable of achieving. Well, they give us so much, right? And helping raise our son and help create and build him into the type of man that is a productive member of society. And in order to keep that going and allowing other boys to have that opportunity, we have to give back to the school in order to help that grow and flourish.
Giving back for me is number one when it comes to, looking out for people who looked out for you. And again, that can be an institution or an individual. And it doesn't have to be financially, whether, it can be us word of mouth, explaining to other parents how great the campus is and how great the teachers and the school and, the opportunities that arise from it. And then telling those kids, if you work hard, this is where you could be. And trying to, that's another way to just always try to, in a positive light, reflect the values that we see that they're reflecting Michael. And always tell other parents that if you want your kids to have these values, this is a good place, not the only place, but a very great place that we know of that can really help instill those in your son. Word of mouth is great. Support coming to the games. I don't know if you do fundraising. I don't know what the other options are for parents, but I know word of mouth is huge. Definitely trying to help to show the qualities of the school that you feel could help other parents' young boys to, be their best selves.
For us at the moment, we kind of see it as supporting the basketball team, coming to soccer games, sort of talking, like you said, word of mouth, and sort of talking up the school and what they're doing for Michael and for our son, and just spreading the word. I know that they have a lot of changes have happened over the last few years, and they all seem like positive changes, and I would love to see that continue and just everything to continue to grow in what's happening.
That question is a little bit deeper for me. So this is a full circle moment for me. When I was, I'd say 17 years old, I graduated high school. That's the first time I heard about South Kent. I came up to see a basketball game, okay? And it was great. So now that's why I always wanted my son to come here. Now, when you see the growth of the campus from then, the growth of the student body population, in just a couple years with the new head of school, I believe, wasn't it saying he had a lot of new students come in and things like that. So I love to see that when what was considered once a sports factory, now the academic side is being looked at also on the same level as sports, where you get what I'm saying. So I love to see the growth of the school being considered more balanced when it comes to academics and athletics, which has been great. So I hope for the future that it just continues to grow in both of those areas, and people understand right here in Connecticut, you don't have to go across the world to come right here. You don't have to go to this school or that school, because the academics piece, the athletics piece, the leadership piece is all right here. So I hope that they just keep growing in that area.
The balance that they're creating, we feel so fortunate that our son has the opportunity to come and experience.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a privilege to be here. We live in Niagara Falls, Canada. I'm with my dog Gretzky. My son is in grade 11 here, his first year. Enjoying every minute of it on campus and when they leave to go on the trips with the team. We found it was a real good balance for our son. We believe that every child has their own pathway in academics or sports, and we found having something on campus with a residence, an ice rink, and academics was an all package for him. I like that it has a rich history before us. People have paid forward these beautiful buildings and property, and we get to walk into something and take advantage of the luxuries that it offers, the academics, the sports, and also being on campus with other brothers. I think it's important. Volunteers are essential to run programs, and so we've reached out to be part of the Parent Council. I've seen my son more self-reliant. It's a pleasure to send away your child, but it's also a pleasure to see him in a self-reliant way, growing up as a young man, helping with the chapel people here, also in the community, getting engaged, feeding the less fortunate, and on campus, just being a good steward, saying hello and good morning every day. These are These are great factors in a child's young life growing up to a nice young man. My hope is that it continues to prosper in bringing great families and students, and that the school continues to flourish, and that our family can contribute back and pay forward what the others did before us.